For anyone who doesn't know anything about the Holy Bible, like myself as I have begun reading, let me break down a few things that I've kind of learned along the way that might help you. The Bible was never meant to be read from beginning to end the same way I'm doing it, because it is a book of books, a whole bunch of literary scriptures and things that have been combined. It also was never originally broken down by chapters and verses until somewhere, I guess, around like the 13th century. There is no actual known first version of the Holy Bible altogether, so what we really have is more so copies of copies of copies of what we're actually reading. The Old Testament was primarily written in Hebrew with a little bit of Aramaic, and then the New Testament was written in apparently modern Greek. A lot of the Bible operates on historical, literary, and theological levels, which makes simple translations, like a lot of what I'm doing, very difficult. So you really have to have an open mind and think further into what you originally might just read on the page. Most religions in the world actually use the Holy Bible. This is something I had no idea, because you have Christians, which have so many different denominations. And then you have Catholics, which actually use the Old Testament and the New One, as well as a number of other books. Mormons, which reference the Old Testament, as well as I think they do reference some of the New Testament as well. Even Islam, while they use the Quran, which is the written, I believe that's the written teachings from the Prophet Muhammad. I could totally be wrong there, so help me out. But they actually reference a lot of what's in the Old Testament as well, because all of this comes from the Abrahamic faith. Ultimately, I think when you are reading the Bible yourself, you have to find your own interpretation of things and really leave out what someone else is possibly pushing on you to believe about it. I just really think it's very important for people to learn it on their own and take into account what everybody else says as well, because it is going to be misinterpreted by other people who might be knowledgeable, but you may interpret things in a very different way.